Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Alexandra and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how I hired a third-party company to create and run Facebook ads for me while handling all the process of nurturing to setting appointments for those leads that came in through Facebook. In the video, I'm going to discuss how I came into contact with them, my thought process as to why I hired this company, how it actually went during these 30 days, and would I do it again. So if this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is how I came into contact with this company. So I had just created my business page on Facebook. So I was posting on there. My KV Core system has, posts on there that I could automatically upload. So I'm working on that. I'm setting up my business page, and this guy messages me on Facebook about his company and how they help real estate agents. And I obviously have already heard and seen many advertisements for, different companies who provide this. And I decided to hear him out. I did a few Zoom meetings with him. I started thinking about if this is something I'd be interested in, maybe giving it a try, seeing if it'll help my business. I know a lot of people are against paying for ads or for leads or whatever. Everyone has their opinion on it, but and I'll go into my thought process later, but I definitely just wanted to hear the company out, see what they had to say, see what they had to offer, how much it would be, and see if it'll be beneficial for me to, invest in it, even just test it out for 30 days, see if I liked it, and then I could decide from there if I want to continue or if I wanted to, do something different. So that was just kind of how it went. He found me on Facebook through my business page, and we kind of went from there. So what was my thought process deciding to hire a third-party company to create and run the Facebook ads and also handling all the leads? So just a little backstory on the company. During the Zoom call, they told me specifically they create the Facebook ad, they run a new Facebook ad every other week, and they set whatever budget I'm comfortable with. Typically, they start off with $300 a month to spend on Facebook ads, which I'm totally okay with. So they create the ad, they run the Facebook ads, they set whatever criteria you do for Facebook ads. I haven't learned it myself, so I'm not exactly how in-depth they went, but I know they did one for radius and one for interest on a specific area I told them. And then what they did is they had their own CRM. So when the lead initially clicked the ad, it would ask for their information. That information would get put into this company's CRM, and I could always have it transferred to my CRM so I could have it in both spots. And then I had an ISA, so it was like a little assistant who would contact these leads and basically qualify them. So they would reach out to them, call, text, email, asking them questions as to if they're ready to buy, how much they're looking to buy, if they need to sell a home before they buy, just basic questions like that, and qualify them. And then they would also be setting appointments for me. So they would handle everything up until appointment setting. So they would nurture the lead. They would, consistently reach out to the lead, call them, text them, whatever, had to be done to nurture them until it got to an appointment. And then once it got to the appointment, it was my time to, call that person at that scheduled time and continue the process from there on what I normally do. And so when I went into this, I was like, okay, that's perfect. I didn't know how many leads I was going to get from Facebook, and I was like, okay, I'm already paying this company to do certain things, so might as well take advantage of them, following up with all the leads that come in, and they're setting appointments for me, so I don't have to do all the nurturing when I could be focusing on a different type of prospecting. So they could do those leads while I do circle prospecting, while I do my farming, while I do cold calling. That was my thought process behind it, and I was like, we could kill kind of two birds with one stone. We could, generate more in a shorter amount of time. I don't have to worry about these leads, and I could just work on other stuff and then worry about it once the appointments are set. So that was kind of my thought process behind it. And, I was going into thinking it's going to make, my business bigger and better and make it quicker on the leads portion of it, while, whatever happened with my other prospecting models. But that was kind of why I decided to give this company a chance, give them 30 days to kind of show me what they do, what they have to offer, and if it, benefits me, if it is worth my time and money to continue working with them. So how it actually went. So when I first talked to them, they were very responsive. Every time we set up a Zoom call, I would get texts at like 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, saying, hey, like still checking, you're still going to be on the Zoom call, appointment, whatever. And I'm here like, yeah, you don't really need to text me at 4 a.m. It's not really cool. But, I was like, whatever, at least they're responsive. I'd rather be someone over responsive than, MIA the whole time. So at first it was good. They set up my Facebook ads, which were pretty basic Facebook ads. I learned how to do it in my class here at Weicker. So those like style of ads were easy. I can definitely do those. I just need to figure out Facebook and how to like do certain criteria of people I want to target. But the physical ad itself, super easy. I learned it here at Weicker, so I didn't need that for them once I saw what kind of ad they do. But I just let the process be. I wanted to see how it went for 30 days. So everything was good about the first 4 days. And then I started getting leads. 1, 2, 3 started coming in. And I noticed, so mind you, they tell me I have an ISA. So she personally works for me and I guess a couple other people, but she's supposed to be following up with my leads, every day. I noticed the same generic text and the same generic email were being sent out, which is fine. Like, I don't expect you to say something new to, a fresh lead, but there was no email signature. It said unknown. She wouldn't change the name. Obviously some names were, fake names. So instead of just saying hi and then continuing with the rest of like her dialogue, she would say hi, no name, or hi, whatever the person put. And like you could tell like it was like, just system generated. So I was like, why am I paying for an assistant to contact these people when the text and email are generated when I could do that myself? And I had realized she hadn't started making phone calls until like maybe the 4th or 5th day in. And I'm like, when leads come in, you need to contact them and they told me they would be contacted within the first 5 minutes, which I guess they technically did because they were sending out emails and text messages, but this girl wasn't calling them until 4 days later. People, I'm sure, have already moved on and, did other things. And then she wasn't leaving any notes for me to see. So I couldn't see anything she was doing, what they had talked about. All she would put is NI. I'm assuming for not interested, but she didn't give any background as to why. Like, oh, they were just looking, they were just being nosy, they were, whatever the case may be, she wasn't giving any details behind it. And I'm very detail oriented when it comes to that. So I had scheduled the time to talk to them and they kept like blowing me off. And I'm like here, like texting these people, emailing these people. I'm like, hey, like I really need to talk to you. I need to schedule time to talk to you on Zoom. Like I need like my business like handled a certain way. Like I am not liking like the whole process. So after like 4 or 5 days of trying to get in contact with them, they finally respond to me some generic BS saying, oh, like you could use this link and you could schedule a time with us. And I was like, well, why didn't you send me that 4 days ago when I've been trying to contact you? So I scheduled a Zoom. I talked to them. I'm like, hey, like this girl's not, doing proper follow-up. I haven't gotten any appointments. I don't have any notes. She didn't start making phone calls till 4 or 5 days out, and she's not calling every single day. Like, I don't know what I'm paying for. Like, this isn't, what I was promised. And I had certain expectations, and so she wasn't doing that. So they gave me a new person. He started making the calls. He was leaving notes because I had specifically told them I wanted notes, wanted very detailed notes. And he got me like 3 appointments or whatever. Every time I called the appointment at their time, no one picked up. I would call an hour later, no one picked up. I called the next day, no one picked up. I text, no one would respond back. So I don't even know if these were like actual appointments or if, they were just creating BS appointments, because they did give me a guarantee of 5 to 10 appointments for the month. If not, like they would keep working for free until they got me those 5 to 10 appointments. So I don't know if those were legit appointments. I kept trying to call and text the people. I never heard back. It is what it is, but I didn't have a great experience with them. It was hard to communicate with them. They didn't show up to the Zoom call. You know, some of the times they missed 2 Zoom calls with me. And then another time it was like when Facebook and Instagram like shut down. So I understood that, you know, cause like, you know, they do everything off of Facebook, like the ads and stuff. So I could see them handling like the back end stuff of that. But the other 2 times were inexcusable, and they didn't even acknowledge it. They didn't acknowledge that I had been texting them for days. They didn't acknowledge that I sent emails. They didn't acknowledge any of that I was upset. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna finish out the 30 days. They didn't create a new ad for me like they said they would. I ended up with only like 3 or 4 appointments, which again, I don't know if they were legit. And all I can say is they did get me a little bit better ISA for the like last like week and a half. But it still wasn't, you know, quality service that, you know, I was paying, you know, a good amount of money for. So that's just how it went. And it's not to bash this company. I'm not putting their name out there. If you're thinking about hiring a company and you want to message me and ask me if that was the company I used, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to go ahead and just blast them on the internet. They weren't that big of a company to where, like, you know, you'd probably see them all around. But if you have any questions, feel free to message me. But that was just my personal experience with them. So would I do it again? Honestly, probably not. And unless I hired the assistant myself and I was, you know, in constant contact with them, then maybe. But even then, it wouldn't be through a third-party company. It would be me finding an assistant on my own, you know, working something out like that, because I realized the Facebook ads, I was taught how to do it at my current company. I could learn how to run Facebook ads. You know, I didn't really want to put in the time, but, you know, I will. It can't be that hard. I've had people at the office tell me they do it, and they're like, it's not that hard. So I know I can do it. I just had to put in a little time to learn it. I realized I like working the leads myself because I like things done a specific way. And if I want it done right, I have to do it myself. That's just kind of been my thought process on a lot of things in my life. And I have to take it into this as well, that, you know, if I want leads to be handled a certain way, it's just better if I'm in communication with them. And also, if they're talking to too many people, they tend to get confused on who they're supposed to be talking to, who is the end person that is actually, you know, gonna be helping them throughout the process. So I think just me being the one and only person they talk to will really help out. You know, keep that message clear, saying, here, I'm Alexandra. I'm the one that's going to be helping you through the buying process, through the selling process. And you could come to me for anything that you need, and just make that clear to the client. And so my assistant, if I did get an assistant, it would be to handle more of like paperwork or back end stuff, more stuff like that than like actual like follow up on the lead, unless like I need them to send out an email or something, you know, something simple like that where the person wouldn't know it's someone else sending it. But to handle my actual leads, I think I'm just gonna keep it all to myself for now until I could figure something else out, because I just want things a specific way. I also don't think it was worth the money. Obviously, you know, it was a risk I was willing to take, you know, because if it did end up working out, I was going to make a lot more money than I spent on it, which was fine. But, you know, in business, it's all a risk. You know, you don't know what you're going to get from something. You know, you just kind of had to put your faith in it that it'll work and see what happens from there. So I would never use this company again. And if they reach out to me about anything, I will tell them how my honest thoughts on how I think they can improve their company and help other people, because how they handled me and like my whole process and everything I went through was very unprofessional. I didn't like it, nor would I recommend it to anybody. So again, if you're thinking about using a company, please message me. I don't mind answering questions. I will, you know, directly tell you what company I used and to not use them, but I'm not going to go ahead and put it out on this video. So that is my whole experience on hiring a third-party company to create and run Facebook ads for me, while also handling any leads that came in with that for 30 days. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys found it helpful. I do these videos just to share my experience with you. It's not to, trash talk anybody or to, get you guys to go a certain way or do something specific that I do. It's just to share my experience so you could make a decision on your own if it's the right or wrong thing for you to do. I hope these videos help. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.